dumb as bricks. It's stupid the Notes app doesn't sync in the background.
Wait, what? Wait, your Notes app doesn't sync in the background?
No, it doesn't for anybody.
Why?
Because it's not a modern application, I guess. I don't know. Ask Apple.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
That's
It
so
only updates
weird.
when you open the app, which is like fine on my Mac. It's always open.
Yeah, yeah.
On my phone, I open it enough, I guess. I don't notice, but I definitely notice it on here when it's like, oh, hey, your last note was 45 days ago. And I'm like, cool.
You're like, I know for a fact it wasn't.
Well, actually, it was. For the last time I used this with notes is probably the last time we did something where I had notes, which
okay.
might have been 45 days ago. It's been a while.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. That's crazy. Well, welcome
Eventually,
to hell.
I might have a note. I know you put a lot of work into it, and right now I don't have it.
They're so nice. Instead of put a lot of work into stuff, I put links in a note and sent it to them.
That's more than we did.
I read the links.
I did. I read them on a different thing, not this one.
Yeah. Ian in the chat asked, "What are you drinking water for, fellas?
Hey, that was pretty good. Hey.
What are you drinking water for, fellas?"
Well, Ian, you drink water to be hydrated, and that's what we are hydration kings over here. Morning, welcome to Don't Be the Artist. I'm Hagen.
I'm Dave.
I'm Adam.
Woo, guys, we're all here.
We did it.
We all showed up.
I thought that sounded kind of
That was
cool.
a pretty good ending.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not bad. It doesn't sound that much like a bummer.
Good ending.
We're so back.
Oh,
What?
ending to that loud.
All
thing
right,
you
we'll
did.
see you guys next week.
Yeah, I was like, what the
We're back in a big way. I can't believe it. We're so back. What's been going on?
fuck? Adam?
Fuck off. Answer faster.
I filed taxes.
Wait, you just did that?
Yeah, yesterday
Oh.
at 11:45 p.m.
Wow.
To be fair, I
You
filed,
finished at 11:45.
On the
filed-
fucking due date?
Yes. To be fair, I filed an extension the day prior in
Okay.
case I didn't make it,
Oh, okay, that's good.
but then I made it.
Incredible.
I'm kind of mad about it.
You're kind of mad you made it?
No, I'm kind of mad I had to pay taxes.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That
I
checks out.
don't want to owe money, especially right now.
Yeah.
I kind of thought about just not paying it
Uh-huh.
and see what happens because there might not be an IRS in October.
True.
Well, unlike you unprepared bastard, I did it the day before.
It's pretty good.
But that
You're on top of things.
I got back from tour and I was like, oh, I gotta do taxes.
Even more reason to do it ahead of that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're totally
you can't
right.
do it ahead of that. You can only do it within 4 or 5 days of the due date. Everybody
Yeah.
knows that.
So I did it wrong then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
it's
did
fake-
you did
fake
it like
taxes.
what? As soon as you got all your 1099s.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you shit for that.
Yeah.
I wish I was more like you
As
in a
soon
lot
as-
of ways.
as soon
Normally,
I got
normally
one
I
of them.
would, but I owed money and I knew I owed money, and I was like, I don't care that much. I
just
will
do a
wait.
payment plan with the
As-
IRS.
No, I'm fine with like that. It's not that part. It's more of like a just
don't
refusal to like
don't
I
want to put up with it.
I don't
Yeah,
want to do that.
exactly.
Like I want to wait it out and see if there is an IRS by
Dude.
the time I have to file.
Good
Yeah.
point. Good point.
Now,
All-
if I was getting money back, I'd be like, give me that now before the IRS is gone.
Yeah, I did it as soon as I could, and then I had to fight like a little bit on some stuff, but I did it and it was fine. It was like whatever. But I think I filed in February.
Damn. I didn't even know you
I don't
could.
even get forms until the end of March.
That's how. That's not how that's supposed to
The
work.
business stuff.
Oh, okay, sure.
The deadlines don't apply if you're a
Oh,
giant
for that.
company.
Okay, yeah, sure. Because we have to get all of ours.
Yeah, 1099s
January
you have to,
20th.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's, I that's usually around the due date is around January 20th.
Damn.
No,
Honestly, I didn't know you could file that early.
Yeah, you can just you can
You
start.
can file
filing.
before then if you have your
If you have your
If you have
forms.
the numbers, even you don't even need the forms
Yeah.
technically. If
Yeah.
you know the number,
Then you can
You
file.
can file on the first.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, but
Nobody does, but
I file as soon as I try to file as soon as I get all the forms in.
Did you get a return?
Yeah,
Nice.
every year.
Yeah.
Small ass return this time. But I'm not mad about that because that means that I got paid.
that
Like
means you got paid the most of your money.
yeah,
That's the way-
exactly.
that's the way it
Yeah, you're
should
supposed to not owe anything and you're supposed to not get anything.
yeah.
Yeah, I fucked that one up.
Taxes aside, aside from everybody doing fucking taxes last minute, what else? That's all you're fucking doing, Adam?
that honestly was the last like couple days. That's all I've been doing.
I guess that's fair. Dave,
I
you
don't
were
know,
on,
I'm in that time of year where I'm preparing to pretend I'm a sound guy again for a week. So
Oh,
Great.
okay. We know how busy that is.
I mean, it will be. It's not yet. But
Yeah, you want to do it tonight? We can trade
no, I'm
trade
good.
places.
I'm good. I don't know what the buttons do when I'm doing it for real either. I just press stuff until
Sound
it does
guys
stuff.
don't either.
Yeah, here's a little secret. You should watch our episode with our friend who does that.
Dave, you got back from tour.
Yeah, I was up
Tour
north,
round 2,
up
bitch.
north again. We didn't have a tour bus this time. We had a Sprinter van
We had a private plane.
and hotels, and I got more sleep for the most part. But there was one day that I guess it's kind of a tour story. But there was one day where we had to fly to Vancouver Island, or we had to fly to Vancouver from Winnipeg, and so our call time at the hotel lobby was 3:30 in the morning.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Even if you want to stay up all night, that still sucks.
So we get back from our show and go to the hotel probably around midnight, shower. By the time I'm done showering and even close to calming down, it's like 1:00. My roommate and I, who's the piano player in the band, we stayed up talking till about 1:45. I was like, we got to go to sleep, dude, at all. And so we
good
both
hour and a half.
Yeah, we both woke up at like 3:15, got our stuff down to the lobby. We get to the airport. We get there early enough, because we had to be there 2 hours early.
Yeah.
So the flight was, I guess, 5:30, 5:45. We land in Vancouver, wait for our tour manager to pick up the Sprinter van, take a 40-minute drive from the airport to a ferry where we had to sit and wait for the ferry. It was an hour and 45-minute ferry. So we just got out and went to a restaurant that was on the ferry and took some cool pictures. Still hadn't slept at this point.
Yeah.
Get to the venue at noon, closer to 12:30. Load-in's 1:00. We do load-in at 1:00. Sound check at 3:30. Dinner after sound check. We played the show with no sleep. None of us
Jesus
slept.
fucking
The
Christ.
entire crew, we didn't sleep.
What a fucking nightmare.
And it was the best show of the tour
sure. Yeah.
because
that makes sense,
we were
though.
all just so tired and
Yeah.
didn't have time to second guess anything.
That's fucking crazy.
It was so crazy. And then after the show, we were like, let's go get dinner somewhere. So we went to get dinner. And that day I was awake for 24 hours.
And everybody got kicked out because they fell asleep at the table.
But that was pretty intense.
God damn.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
How much caffeine did you have?
I had a venti cold brew,
Okay.
which is my daily limit normally. That's what I have.
Okay.
Then I had 2 Celsius
Okay.
and 3 cups of coffee.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's
Doesn't
reason-
seem that bad.
that's
I expected that to be worse.
Well,
yeah.
that's like a week's worth of caffeine for me.
Yeah, but
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I
okay.
mean?
Yeah. I got you.
And
See,
I barely felt it.
I
that
expected you to get to the caffeine overdose phase.
yeah.
No.
So because that to me sounds like I'll do if I'm in a real bad spot. I've done a venti cold brew in the morning, a Monster on the drive of wherever I'm going, and then I'm at the place, and then a Monster on the drive back.
Right.
That's usually, and that's not 24 hours, but that's
No.
if I'm in a really bad way, then that's kind of how. Except for that one time that I did a venti cold brew in the morning, a Monster on the way to San Antonio, a Monster and a 5 Hour Energy on the way back. And that was for those who don't know, 5 Hour Energy, you leave your eyes are wide open. You have literally no it didn't wake me up.
No.
My eyes were just fucking. I was driving, oh God, if I fall asleep, are my eyes still gonna be open? I don't know. This is awful.
Just snoring with your eyes open.
Dude, it was terrifying. That was the way. I mean, it works. I got where I needed to get, but that's crazy. Leave Dave alone. He's trying to relax.
Yeah.
I mean, he's fine. He's
He's referencing a story when he and I drove across Canada.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was so hopped up on caffeine by the end of that trip that I was leaning forward onto the dash of the car that we were driving.
Yeah.
And he was like, "What are you doing?" And all I could say was, "Leave me alone. I'm trying to relax." And I was just tweaking.
That's great.
So yeah, I wasn't that tired, but it was pretty brutal.
Yeah, that's fucking
then,
rough.
And then I got back home after the tour, and I was like, "Oh no, I got to do taxes." And what made it worse was that we classify our drives as musicians, so we can claim the mileage. I didn't classify a single drive last year, so I had to go through.
So you
the
had to go do that
entire
at the last
year.
minute?
Yeah.
That's. I'm not saying to do this all at the last minute, but I did that too. That's why it took me so long to expense everything that I needed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal.
You should probably keep track of that. Everybody else, not us.
Yeah.
We'll suffer. We'll suffer. Anyway, that was weird. Who said that?
What have you been up to? You played a pretty cool show,
Dude,
didn't you?
fuck my ass. Okay, so I'll say that.
We're a professional show.
I'll say that I've been playing every gig I've played in the last, like, I don't know, actually all of this year, I would say largely have been really fun. And this year, this last gig I played this last weekend, I played just one this last weekend, and it was with this band that he's been on the show. His name's Edgar Derby, and I will occasionally play drums with him. And I knew that there was going to be extra percussionists on stage for this. I thought there was going to be 2. He told me that I was in a group chat with 2 other people, and I was like, cool, these are the percussionists. And then I learned that the other percussionist, that's like the leader of the group, is the band's actual drummer. And I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh shit. He has to watch me play all of this?
Yeah, that's like, hey, we're going on a date. And it's like, by the way, my current girlfriend is coming with.
Which I knew this was going to happen eventually with this band. That was kind of a plan, but I was like, I didn't realize that was going to happen then and there.
And they're all lovely people.
Oh, amazing. It wasn't like, I was just like, oh, I have to play his parts.
You want to be prepared for that.
I have to play his parts in front of him. And I had to miss rehearsal. So I was like, I was like, even more like, I was playing some songs I didn't know. I was like, this is fucking. And then I realized it's not just 3 percussionists. Like,
that was just the group chat you were in.
It's the 3 extra percussionists. They bring so much shit on stage. It's a wild amount of stuff. Just to like kind of give you an idea, there's the biggest things they brought were like marching bass drum and gong. They have those like kind of like chains they can noise, right? Some of them had like DI outs too, so they just like they didn't have to use a mic for that stuff.
That's wild. I didn't know that's a thing.
I think it was a contact mic on it, and so I guess that's what he did.
That's cool.
So shakers galore, all sorts of that, like just toys everywhere. And then violin player comes up, and I'm like, fuck! There's a violin player tonight. What is happening? This venue has 4 stages. They have an outdoor venue that we played on. They have 2 indoor venues. One's kind of like a smaller room. One's like a medium-sized room. And then they have a new stage that's in the parking lot called the Slab, and it's like a punk stage. All stages were active. The parking lot was full. There was a line to get into the venue. I was overwhelmed, to say the least. And then we played at 11 o'clock, and all the people that were left were like the people that truly wanted to hang out, and it was like such a crazy ass gig. I was like, there were times where I did nothing. I just sat there and let the percussionist do it. I was like, because for those who haven't listened to Edgar Derby, go listen to Edgar Derby's music.
Yes.
He's incredible. But a lot of his music has this aux percussion all over it. So when you're playing drum set, you're like, I guess I need to fill this space up, because otherwise the song's kind of missing it. And their normal drummer does an excellent job. He'll even like wear a shaker as a necklace and like use that as like while he's playing another part. Like he does a bunch of stuff, and I don't do that when I play with them.
You're like, I have drumsticks and drum set.
Yeah, I'm a rock drummer. This is what I do. so anyway, like there were times where it was songs I was like, well, I'll just sit here. And then I talked to Edgar about it at the beginning, and I was like, hey, on this song, so you want me to come in here? And he's like, actually, just come in at the end. So I just sat there, and and then when I came in, it felt like the record. I was like, this is so fucking cool. But it was just a lot, because I was like, I was trying to listen to 3 percussionists while also trying to ignore them entirely. Because I wanted to lock in, obviously, but I was like, my priority is the lead singer, and we will find each other if we get lost. But we never really had any issues. It was awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
That sounds like so much fun.
It was really intense.
Sounds like you really enjoyed making music.
Excellent segue. Oh my God, who is this guy?
My notes uploaded.
So we're doing some news, some catch up today. For those who are listening, watching, whatever, who are like, they're going to talk about this thing that's really sad or crazy. We're not. We're going to avoid the sad and crazy stuff this week. I just don't. There's too much of that. I don't want to talk about it. Sorry. So this is more than anything fucking hilarious. There's an AI company called Suno AI, and the CEO of that company said, quote, "People don't enjoy making music." If you're wondering if that was taken out of context, it wasn't. Well, I'll get to that. First, do you guys know who this guy is, the CEO of this company? Mike Schulman.
A jackass.
A jackass.
Before reading this article,
No, I have no idea.
No idea.
So the interesting thing for me was I was like, I wonder if this guy like is a musician of any kind of
He's just unsuccessful, and he's like, people don't really enjoy this.
This is his website. He says, I am the co-founder of Suno. Previously, I was the first machine learning hire and head of machine learning at Kensho. I'm also a lecturer at MIT Sloan School of Management. I used to study physics and quantum computing, and I am an avid, mediocre musician and athlete. Shut the fuck up. I don't like, you're an avid, mediocre musician? What is that even like? What a fancy way to say you suck at music.
it's also a way to say that you don't really want to work hard.
Yeah, at music specifically, because clearly he
wants computers to do it for him.
exactly. So he says, to me, it seems crazy that music should not be as engaging as Fortnite. He goes on to say that people don't really enjoy the process of making music. Making music is hard. So we're gonna steal all that and call it new. This is the comment from it, but that's like the gist of what he's getting at. Is like it's hard to make music, so let's just have AI make all the fucking music.
What is the comparison to Fortnite? I'm so lost.
I think he's saying that like if people can just keep playing Fortnite, then why wouldn't they like the attention span is there.
He wants to bring that kind of thing into
that
music.
in music.
So he wants to make it a game.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Do that.
Exactly.
Because I do think that, it reminded me of, us as musicians. We're complaining about this guy saying that people don't want to make music. But it could be the same argument as, well, everybody should be able to record music from home. Mm-hmm. And so the owners, in this analogy, we're the owners of studios going like, well, not everybody can have a studio.
Yep.
Right? And so I do think it's great to make the ability to make music as accessible as possible to the public.
Yes.
But stealing the idea of that or putting it down our throats that we don't actually like making music is so fucking crazy to me.
It's bizarre.
It's
a bizarre
an
world.
unnecessary hot take.
Yeah, if somebody wants to make a like modern day garage band in that it has AI stuff and it enables people to do things, cool. Do it.
Yeah.
I would argue that's already happened. It's GarageBand does some of that.
Yeah.
Where like you can just do loops and stuff. That same concept. It's not AI generated, right? But they're pre-recorded things. Anybody can make something out of it.
Yeah.
Making that easier, cool. But you don't have to be a dick about it.
Yeah, I love the idea of hearing a completely unmusical person being able to write a song and hear what it sounds like.
Yeah. I mean, the idea of saying musicians don't enjoy making music, it is like patently wrong.
It's so
like
wrong.
there are obviously people you could talk to who are like, yeah, making music is really hard, and sometimes it frustrates me, and sometimes I get really annoyed by it. But like you talk to, I've never seen any level of musician leave the studio and go, I didn't like any of that.
Yeah, there's always an asterisk there where it's like, making music is really hard. Recording records is hard.
Yeah.
But it's worth it.
God, it's so much fun.
That's the flip, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's so worth it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like this is something that I talk to my students about all the time. Is like, this is fun for you, right? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, then let's have some fun.
Yeah.
Don't get bogged down by the rest of it. Just have some fucking fun. You know. It's really weird that that's the perspective. And I now that I know this guy like studied physics, I'm gonna now ask my friends who studied physics. Do you guys think that
makes
musicians have like enjoy making music, or do they just do it because they're an artist and it's a part of the craft? Because I wonder if that's the perspective of most of these
that might be the case. But,
computer people.
This also reminds me of like the whole story about like Amazon Prime when they started their video thing. Jeff Bezos was mad about the shows weren't a hit and whatever, and he's like, well, there's only like 12 pieces you need to make something successful. You need a protagonist and a story and like things that happen and stuff, and people are just like, okay, yeah.
Okay.
It's just a spreadsheet and you just pump in different things and then you spit out a movie,
Right.
which
Yeah.
they're doing, and that's why they're all bad.
No,
Yep.
there's nuance. There's a
You
touch.
just, creative stuff is going to be frustrating and bad. Usually that's what leads to, not usually, but often that leads to better art, at least in a collaborative environment. Music isn't, if you don't enjoy doing it, people are going to stop doing it.
Yeah.
There's a reason musicians like reach a point in their career where maybe they don't need to do anything anymore and they just stop because maybe they did get burned out and they don't want to do it anymore.
You can also tell when an artist doesn't like making music. You can tell when you're listening to it, like, oh yeah, this is not what they want to do.
This
Exactly.
is a cash grab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jeff Bezos, Jeff Bezos sent people to space.
Yeah, kind of. Sort of. Technically.
What? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Can you clarify? Because I like everything. My TikTok is actually full of things like this didn't really happen. I'm like, I can't even look up anything about it. This is driving me insane.
Yeah, I mean they did go up in the air.
Yeah.
They went into like I believe the equivalent of like low Earth orbit, where you are weightless for a little bit, but you can also do that in a plane.
Right.
So I don't really get the only difference is you're on a rocket, so it's riskier than a plane.
Right. So
They didn't die though.
this was
So,
a group of people that included Jeff Bezos' wife, right?
which
there's
really
second
is,
wife.
is a little
Yeah.
is a little odd
yeah.
to be like, I'm going to put you on this rocket and shoot you up. That's like, we'll see how it goes. Like, SpaceX rockets pull up pretty often.
Yeah. Also included a CBS Mornings host and
Who looked like she hated it after she got
did.
off.
This is very true. And then the reason we're talking about this is that Katy Perry went to space.
Yeah.
Now, there's a couple things to mention with this. Is that when soon as she landed, everyone might have seen this. She kissed the ground and she was like, "Thank God I'm back" or whatever. She posted something about it.
She was real proud of that one.
Yes. But the killer stuff is that there were some excellent social media responses, which was the best one, which is Wendy's responded to her Twitter post when she got back and said, "Can we send her back?"
Which, for anyone who's a little confused by why Wendy's might do that, that's just the person running Wendy's social media account.
Yeah.
It's
being
the persona
funny.
that they've had for
Exactly.
years, and it's
Yes.
great.
They've been
Yeah, it's
so
awesome.
good at that stuff, which leads to the perfect kind of drama that I absolutely adore, which is Kesha sharing a photo of her drinking a Wendy's drink.
Yes.
Now, for those who aren't aware, the Katy Perry Kesha drama goes back, but the primary reason that there is this drama is because Katy Perry's record that came out last year is a Dr. Luke record. And Kesha was in a long lawsuit with Dr. Luke from, I think, 2014 all the way up to 2023.
Yeah. And Dr. Luke countersued,
Yeah.
and then she countersued his countersuing.
Yeah.
And then they settled out of court.
Yeah, yeah. And part of that lawsuit, I believe, was that Kesha was trying to have Katy Perry testify on her side, and Katy Perry wouldn't do it. And then now fast forward to last year when her album, that by the way is almost confirmed to at least have one song that is majority AI made. This album that Dr. Luke produced is apparently filled with AI. This album was the big thing for Kesha to be like, fuck you. What? What? So just great little bits of tea or whatever drink you get at Wendy's. What an excellent response from the Wendy's account, and then from Kesha. Brilliant. I loved it.
Because Katy Perry has tried to defend herself using Dr. Luke.
Absolutely.
By saying well, no, he didn't really help me with this record. He just helped produce it. I wrote everything because I'm talking about being a woman and it's women's empowerment, which is part of what that trip was about, right?
Yeah.
The first, or not, I don't know if it was the first, but
It was not the
all-
first.
No, it was
Yeah.
not.
All-
That's the other part that is confusing about that. Is it's like this is the first one. You're like, yeah,
No, it's not.
it's not though. There were actual astronauts who did this before and
Yeah.
went to actual space.
And then what Katy Perry said something to the effect of she feels like a really big responsibility to take care of Mother Earth.
Yeah.
And somebody pointed out that one trip that she caused more CO2 emissions than an entire airplane's worth of people will cause in an entire year.
Yeah,
That's awesome. That really is like
that
Amazon
tracks.
space. That's crazy.
Expensive perspective, motherfuckers.
Moving on to perhaps other expensive things, Firefest 2. Which
And keep in mind, listeners, we said we weren't going to get dark today.
I don't think this is
I don't
dark.
think it's dark. I
This
think
is
it's very
fucking
funny.
funny.
well, I know, but
Yeah.
these are all upsetting things.
no, this one's not.
I love this.
Yeah.
So we had just discussed Firefest 2 a while ago, and we had mentioned that basically everyone who lived on the island had said this is not happening. We know nothing about this, and this is bullshit. So Billy McFarland, the guy who founded the Firefest, he posted on Instagram this is all misinformation. I have been talking to the government and of this island, and I've been working deals out. So there are now, in fact, permits that he has acquired. Firefest 2 will be held on Martina Beach Club with a maximum of 250 people. Yeah, that's right. 200. When's the last time you were at a fucking festival where there was only 250 people?
At a house.
Yeah, exactly. They're allowed to attend for a total of 12 hours between 12 a.m. and 4 a.m. So I guess it's just a 12-hour time period between that, between May 30th and June 1st.
And are there going to be lots of loud bands, Hagen, with multiple drummers and?
No live performances are permitted.
Shucks.
The permits do not allow live music.
But what are they going to do?
Are they going to get a DJ?
So that's so good you mentioned that, because a DJ did drop out of playing Firefest. Now, this is great though, because did you guys read this thing with the DJ?
I did see that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is crazy, because what happened here, this DJ was hit up via DM by Billy McFarland to play Firefest 2. She starts asking questions like, hey, what are the details? Like, what's, like, you know, trying to get information about, like...
She asked where it was.
Yeah, yep. She's trying to get any kind of information, and he started to get really defensive in the DMs. He started to be like, why are you asking so many questions? What the fuck's up with this?
Nobody else is asking questions.
Yeah.
What's wrong with my track record? Why do you need to know all
I
these
wasn't
things?
in jail for any of this.
Yeah, and so she backed out. It is actually crazy. Her quote is, "He seemed surprised to hear so many questions from me. He told me that none of the other artists have been giving him any pushback."
Get the cricket sound ready.
Those other artists.
I don't know.
That's the sound of the other artists asking questions.
My theory is that if the festival even happens, if they can get this amount of money, it's just going to be a really chill, boring little beach club moment to some people. I don't think it's going to be anything interesting. That would be a waste of, and it would be a waste of my time, says that DJ. So there's the tickets. They were being sold for $1,400 all the way up to $25,000, with premium packages priced as high as $1.1 million.
Yeah.
The official ticketing partner has removed the tickets.
This is going so well.
That happened just today, right?
Yesterday or today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Today, I saw that a couple hours ago, their permits were revoked. I don't know if that's true necessarily.
That's so
That would
funny.
imply they existed in the first place, which
Of
who
course.
knows?
Hey, they
Who
might.
knows?
Hey, you
I
never-
mean,
But it seems like it's basically canceled now.
I don't know how
Hell
much
yeah.
information we have when we spoke about it last, but like he was trying to pitch it as some like artist and crowd interactive experience where during the day they would go on hikes and do adventurous
Yes,
things
yeah.
alongside the artists. Also kind of implying that the artist would be guiding these adventures.
What artist is signing up for that who's not named Jared Leto?
Yeah, exactly. Jared Leto's like, we're scaling this building. And then we're going to play when we get to the top. We're just going to play The Kill for an hour and a half.
Oh God.
He has experience with cults.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
very
would be
true.
there in just a white robe. But then in the evening they'll convene for an artist and audience intimate experience.
Yeah.
That's not gonna fucking happen.
No.
Do you want to I love gigging. I love playing gigs, and I love interacting with an audience. I don't want to spend all day with my audience.
Also, it's
Wouldn't you be tired from hiking?
yeah, exactly.
Here's my question. How big's the fucking audience? It's 250 people. That doesn't fucking include the artists that are going to be
know.
there.
Yeah.
I was at that show I played on Sunday.
Uh-huh.
There was for the outside stage, I heard how many people had actually who actually showed up. And
Yeah.
it was a pretty small number. And I was like, man, the crowd looked bigger. And I was like, it's every band. It's every band and they're like, and probably their friends or their partners or whatever. And I was
Exactly.
like, that the crowd is that. The crowd was not audience members, it was the bands that are playing or have played.
Yeah.
That was all it was.
250 people is not a lot of people.
It's not a lot of people. That's not a lot of people.
And they got to sell merch too.
Yeah. So he was probably like, let's put $1 million option and just hope that everyone goes for that.
Hell yeah. Hell, who's not going for that? I'm going for that. Let's come on, let's pull it in, guys. Come on. So I have one more thing before we get to the big stuff, and it's not on the list.
Uh-oh.
And it's
no.
it's a quick one.
Okay.
So, do you know who the drummer for the Who is?
The what?
The drummer for the Who.
Offhand,
The when?
The drummer for the Who.
Offhand, I don't.
The drummer for the Who.
The who?
The Who. So the drummer was Keith Moon. You might have heard that
Okay,
name before.
yes.
Okay. Since '96, the drummer has been a gentleman by the name of. Do you know this answer?
No.
Zach Starkey.
Oh yes. Okay.
Do you know who Zach Starkey is?
Yes.
Zach Starkey is Ringo Starr's son.
Okay.
I guess get the cricket sound ready. Adam doesn't give a fuck who that is. Jesus.
I don't know where this is going.
There was. I was looking into this
Did
more.
like people just discover this and it's like a whole
I
different
do
thing
know
now?
this, but sure, people did.
I didn't know this either because I don't care that much about who the drummer of the Who is.
Right. So before I get into like why we're talking about this, I did do a little bit of research about Zach Starkey, being that when he was a kid, he like got really into specifically the Who, and he then learned that like, oh, Keith Moon, the guy that's been like coming over to like dad's parties, is this is so cool, and he really wanted to play drums. His dad gave him one drum lesson, and then he said, "You're on your own."
Wow.
Yeah.
Because he taught him everything he knows.
Yeah, exactly. So Zach Starkey is truly a great player. To be the drummer for the Who, it is not a small feat.
Yeah.
Keith Moon was a very influential and like out there player.
He was also an animal.
Yeah, exactly. So to be the person who's been doing that for almost 30 years now, it's kind of crazy. He was fired because of this is a brief explanation over a disagreement about his playing at their Royal Albert Hall gig last month. The reason that's been floating around is that he overplays. And I'm like, sorry, the Who drummer is overplaying?
Yeah, exactly.
What
What is he windmilling too much?
Yeah, what do you want him to fucking do? So I tried to find like footage of him playing, and I was like, he just sounds like he's playing. And I couldn't find anything like recent, but
Sure, but that sounds like a dumb reason.
insanely stupid.
Yeah.
Oh no, our drummer is drumming.
He, it can't just be for one show.
He's
Like,
showing us up.
yeah, I'm
How
gonna
old are
guess
the other members of the Who?
they're old.
Yeah, they're
and
old.
they probably can't even hear anymore. I don't know why they're worried
They
about.
heard him play, and he's like, "You're overplaying. Stop."
Yeah, they're like, geez, that's what he sounds like. I would guess that this has been going on for a long time, and that they've talked to him about it, and that the Royal Albert Hall performance was something that pushed it over the edge.
I just am so curious about because I couldn't find genuine footage of this man overplaying. So I'm just very curious, like what how do you to overplay this music is like you exclusively chop out. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
the Who stuff is not, and from what I saw, he wasn't doing that. He was playing the fucking songs.
That's so funny.
I'm like truly blown away by this, only from the perspective of it. Like I don't know what people want.
I wonder also if it's a volume issue because like John Button has been their bass player for a number of years now after Pino Palladino was their bass player. I would wonder if because like he's talked about how they're kind of ampless on stage because they've been touring with strings a lot lately.
Oh, okay.
And so maybe that's also what it is.
He plays electric.
He's playing an electric kit.
So I did watch some footage from like a year or so ago, maybe it was less than, but they played with an orchestra.
Yeah.
And in rehearsals and that orchestra gig, electric drum set.
Yeah.
So I think that he could be playing that for a lot of other stuff too, especially if you're ampless. I would make sense if he's playing this really nice electric kit on stage. Which I found to be like, because I was like, man, those drums sound weird in this rehearsal video. And I was like, oh, that's an electric kit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Is it one of those electric kits that has the real shells and everything?
Yeah.
They look
it's
so cool.
Super nice kit. Sounded great. It was just like he hits that crash and it sounds the same every time he hits it. That's
amazing.
There's no variance. He's a great player. He is, but that was not the point. Okay, so I thought the festival would have been a great alley-oop for this next thing, the Fire Festival, but I wanted to get that in because it was I found it to be incredibly wild.
That is weird.
But the big ticket item today is Coachella Weekend 1 happened, and I feel like it's potentially premature to just talk about Coachella when there's still Weekend 2 to happen, but I do feel like there's a lot that we can talk about from Coachella Weekend 1. While I get ready to pull some things up, what did you guys see from Coachella Weekend 1, if anything, aside from what I sent you?
All of the clips that you sent us,
Fuck off!
I had already seen.
Oh, you'd already seen
Yeah.
them. Oh my god! Oh, sorry.
Oh, perfect timing on that.
There you go. There you go.
you go.
Nice job.
I
Good
saw
work.
things ahead of time.
How did you have the time?
In between filing taxes.
Yeah, okay, there you go. That's the answer.
So you'd already seen those clips. Had you seen anything else
Not really.
Coachella
No.
related?
I get that people who go there are excited about it. It is well produced, like live video and stuff. I just don't find that I care that much
Sure.
about Coachella every year.
So this year was actually like it was a big deal. Like this year was for a lot of artists, it was like their first time, or it was like a return to like this big, like Travis Scott. Fuck
Yeah.
Travis Scott, but like this was a big
Gave
year
him a
for
co-headliner status.
Yeah,
Everybody was
exactly.
like, "Here you go, try again.
Yeah,
Do better
exactly.
this time."
Yeah, well, and people were like, I saw a Reddit thread that was like, sorry, was that horrible or was that just me? And it was a lot of people who were like, yeah, the production was amazing, but he sounded bad. And then from what I could tell, this is just how he performs. He's just super lazy on stage.
Yeah.
But we're not here to really talk about Travis Scott necessarily. Ian brings up a good point. There was rumors that like Foo Fighters were rehearsing at the festival grounds.
Yeah, I heard somebody, a painter, posted on TikTok
Yeah.
that she was just listening to the Foo Fighters rehearse.
Yeah.
What? You
Yeah.
can just do that?
So
So Dave Grohl?
I was also wondering if she was just hearing like Rami practice his keyboard parts along with recordings or
maybe.
something like that.
But I mean, I guess Dave Grohl was there, so people were thinking that something was going to happen, which it might be a Weekend 2 thing, or it might just not have worked out in this context.
Yeah, dumb question. Is Weekend 2 the same lineup? That's
It
Weekend
is
1? Or
some
is it,
some of it's the same, some of it's not. Yeah.
I didn't know if this was like a ACL situation where they try to keep it the same, or if it's like, yeah, fuck it, we'll just do
Yeah.
different weekends.
Yes, Ian. Two separate videos, but all in the same context. All in
Okay.
For me, there's a lot of stuff that did happen that was interesting, but I'm gonna mention a few that really get to me and then get to the drama of it all. So first was Benson Boone performed. He did his Benson Boone thing.
he did flips and shit.
He did flips and shit. But the cool thing was that he brought out Brian May to do Bohemian Rhapsody, which was cool. I don't know if you guys read those articles that I sent you that were like these breakdowns of the event. It was like the Pitchfork one was pretty like here's like a kind of here's my stream of conscious of like here's stuff I saw this day kind of thing. When they get to Benson Boone, they are brutally mean.
Oh no.
I saw quite a bit of that.
Yeah, they say Benson Boone is horrible, just god awful, the kind of act that makes you wonder if this whole medium has been worth it. His main stage set at 7 p.m. on Friday, a preposterous slot for him, was 9 absolutely insipid originals that seemed designed to soundtrack tearful front-facing confession videos, followed by a galling and inexplicably Brian May-assisted cover of Bohemian Rhapsody. I didn't love it.
Oh, Pitchfork. Going straight for the jugular.
So, I have a little bit of that pulled up for us to just see a little bit of. But for those who didn't see it, you can listen to it with us. This clip to me is a mixture of good and bad. But I have it just right before like kind of like the
I mean, that's
crazy
just
stuff.
the performance was kind of good and bad.
Yeah, I agree. So here's the just a little bit of that performance. I didn't put a flip in. I didn't. He doesn't do a
I think
flip
we
here.
know that he did it.
He does a lot of them though.
He sounds good.
So that's I think he sounds in general good as well. I
Yeah.
think that there's spots that but I mean like
He's not trying to do a Freddie Mercury. And
No.
And that's Brian May.
That's a good
Yeah.
choice.
no for sure.
No, I'm talking about Benson Boone.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
I think the part of the Benson
I think you also wouldn't get Brian May to be there if it was going to be bad.
Ian, the video is mirrored, so we don't get copywritten. I think he sounded good. I think that the context of, I think this was the last thing he did, is a pretty important thing. I think that guy was fucking performing his dick off. He's running around the stage. He's doing flips. He's doing the whole thing. Like I don't want to give excuses for like any sort of like notes that aren't amazing, but that's not really the point, right?
It's kind of a dumb gimmick to do the flip stuff, but he is doing a lot.
Yeah. Now the part for me that is interesting is like the Brian May thing is cool.
Yeah.
But it is missed on a lot. Like there's a lot people in that crowd probably were like, who is that?
Who's that old fuck on stage?
Fuck is that?
Which is hilarious.
Yes. Which is hilarious and also like, God damn.
That's sad.
Absolutely sad. Like
I saw that there were people online searching for if that was his father.
Oh man. But that speaks to what Coachella has turned into a little bit.
The people are there not for music.
Yeah, it's not necessarily about music.
I'm so happy that you said that because this next clip, I think, kind of exemplifies that just a little bit while I size this up so it's not horribly cropped here. This next clip is so Bernie Sanders was at Coachella.
He headlined.
Dude, I saw people posting, no shit, that Bernie Sanders like opened for Clairo the way they phrased it. And I'm like, it sounds like he performed when you say it like that. Like
he has done music.
It's
What instrument do we think he would play in his current age? I'm going spoons.
Piano.
Yeah, I was going to piano.
Yeah.
Probably not well still, but
Like a Leonard Cohen kind of performance.
Yeah. So this is a great compilation in my eyes of the reaction that you would expect from Bernie Sanders being at Coachella.
Okay.
Bernie Sanders! Senator Bernie Sanders just moved up to Coachella! He's opening up for Cloud!
Why is Bernie Sanders at Coachella?
This country
A weekend at
faces
Bernie's.
some very difficult challenges.
So he gives like a good speech. Like he gives a very
he's doing a version of the stump speech he's been going around giving basically.
Yeah, because him and AOC are on tour doing that. Yeah, so he gives a great speech, and I feel like there's a good chunk of the crowd that it's not missed on. I feel like there's a good chunk of the crowd that's like, it's fucking Bernie Sanders! Oh my god! Like that's the type of shit. Like the guy
It's people
running.
who don't know when election day is.
Yeah, the guy. I don't want to throw shade at that guy who's running, but he literally gives me like I'm a festival bro like type vibe of like, oh my god, did you hear that so and so's on stage with so and so right now? We gotta get there fast. Like you're not actually listening.
Yeah,
You're not, like
exactly.
if the guy was stoked that Brian May was on stage with Benson Boone, that guy would have the same fucking reaction, and he wouldn't actually listen. He'd go, bro, that's the guy from Queen, and that's what he's doing. I guarantee he's doing the same fucking shit with Bernie. Like so that's the kind of weird thing. It's cool he was there, but very very
It's so
strange.
funny.
Yeah. I feel like he'd play harmonica. Says Heather. Okay, I could see that. I could see that. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
But just in one key.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Kara, thank you for the raid on Twitch. Okay, and so we move on to my next favorite. This is really important for me. This is such a fucking big deal. And I'm sorry, this one's about me for a fucking second, okay?
I mean, speaking of another case where the audience seems to not know what's going on.
I give them a little bit of credit on this one. That's okay.
I think it's fair.
Yeah, I will give them a little bit of credit for not knowing this. So we have, I mean, if you've listened to anything regarding us, we have discussed Spirit Box aplenty on this show because I make everybody talk about it.
And you saw them last
And
week.
I saw them. I did. It was amazing. It was a great fucking time. But so Spirit Box has collabed with Megan Thee Stallion. So at these Coachella performances, kind of some of my favorite things about them is the fact that you have these huge collaborations on the stage.
Yeah.
So not just like, this like, I don't know, performance that has a great production. Production's amazing at Coachella. They were actually everything. The stages looked incredible.
Yeah.
But like a lot of collabs. Megan Thee Stallion brought up more than this. She brought up a lot of features on this whole performance. This is the one I'm going to talk about because Spirit Box is on tour. They happen to be here during Coachella. So here is a little snippet of I forget the name of the song. I'll pull it up in a second. But here's a clip from Megan Thee Stallion
TYG?
said TYG. That's it. Yeah. That on the record, and this features Courtney LaPlante from Spirit Box. In the whole wide world to see her and hear her with Megan, I'm so happy that happened.
Can we get that for the halftime show?
It's like, make some noise with fucking Courtney from Spirit Box.
And you just hear the audience be like, "Who?"
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Exactly, dude. It's crazy. So she brought out a ton of guests. That was just one of them. And this was not like the only artist that did this. Charlie XCX brought out. So everyone knew she could bring people out. She was teasing it, but she brought out everybody that she was supposed to. She brought out Troye Sivan. She brought out Lorde. And the clip we're going to listen to now is she brought out Billie Eilish.
And they did that track. They did.
And they did. So when she brought out Lorde, she did the track she did with Lorde, and it was all of it. The features
okay.
So it was each of their songs that they did
That
together.
was how I learned that Lorde has a new album coming out.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't
It's
know
going to be
that.
Lorde Summer. Totally not.
No, it's not. The only chance she has of it being Lord Summer is if Jack Antonoff didn't produce it.
Oh yeah, true.
I mean, there is a chance of that.
Yeah.
So this is one of my favorite clips from like just in general. And I mean, I'm biased, of course. I do love Charlie XCX's like performance, but if you can get any shot of the crowd, or if you can hear them, they are fucking loving it. They are having a great time. So here is a little bit of Billie Eilish and Charlie XCX together.
Ian said, was this the swanky tune we heard on Fun Friday? Swanky is not the word I would use for it.
The swanky. Oh,
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's.
This is the very sexual one.
yeah. It's called Guess.
I'm gonna tell you right now, they're all thinking about. I wanna.
Crowd is going crazy. Like, I love thinking about this huge crowd screaming all of this.
Charlie! Come on! Fuck it up!
It's just a party.
Yeah.
It's just a party. That's all it is. So Charlie XCX played on, I believe it was Friday. It was Friday or Saturday. I can figure that out, but I'm gonna keep talking instead. So after Charlie XCX played, or around it was after, we get one of the headliners of the event, which is Green Day.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're not going to watch the clip, but for those who don't know, Green Day has been changing a lot of their lyrics.
I was gonna say, why are we not watching the clip?
I put a not safe for work
I
tag
know.
in the notes,
And then I was like, what does that fucking mean?
and then you clicked it.
Yeah, but then I was like, I don't work. I'm not at an
Yeah,
office, so it's okay.
I'm just
I know.
okay.
It was funny to me.
He's
to be
being
like,
courteous.
It
Yeah,
was
I'm
funny to
being
me
courteous.
that clip was fine.
Sure, yeah, of course.
But
You couldn't really hear what they were saying.
Yeah,
that's fair.
There's also I mean, everyone knows the song, but there's a slur in that song, so yeah,
That's
that's
fair.
why.
Yeah.
So anyway, so they Green Day's been changing the lyrics to a lot of songs, and Green Day's always been a very political band, but they've been very open about their political stance especially during Coachella, which I saw a really great post that was like, it's really great to see like rock and roll and punk is still alive when you have a band like Green Day not only doing this, but doing this at a festival that is owned and run by a person that that diametrically opposes like their beliefs, and they're like, if we're gonna play this, we're gonna shout our beliefs at the top of our fucking lungs, which I thought was a really, really great point to all that. So Green Day played. It was cool. It was also their first time playing Coachella.
That's very surprising.
Yeah, I thought that
I
as
feel
well.
like they might have just missed the window of
Yeah,
when Coachella became a big thing.
yeah. And if I'm wrong about that, someone can correct me. But I swear I read that while I was reading all this that this was their first time playing Coachella. They play. It's great. This is another one of those things where if you haven't seen clips, look at a clip. The production is crazy. I mean, the stage looks awesome. Oh, the funny part, I guess I could have pulled this clip, but did you see that they brought up someone to play a song?
Which they've been doing a lot.
So they brought up someone to play a song, and it was awkward as shit.
Really?
Because it's a fucking everyone's partying. So the guy could play, but he wouldn't he was feeling his rock star moment, and he also had a hard time giving the guitar back. It was a great clip. So later, did you guys know about this before I put this in here? This
Yes.
drama? Okay,
I
good.
did not.
Okay. So later that night at an after party, Charlie XCX is seen wearing a sash that says Mr. or Miss should have been a headliner, or Miss should be headliner. Now, this is blown up beyond I couldn't begin to fathom how much this could have blown up. So this has become a thing where every single Green Day fan has gone to run, not walk, but run to the defense of these old men
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
are there. I guarantee they don't give a shit about this, but these fans give so much of a fucking shit that Charlie XCX is. First of all, I don't think we know if she was gifted the sash or if she made it herself. Doesn't really fucking matter. If she was gifted it,
It's just funny.
it's
Yeah, and that could be just one of her friends going, "Hey, maybe next year you'll headline." Like,
Yeah.
it's no shade at Green Day.
exactly.
No, even if it was, I don't think it's probably like, it's not malicious or anything.
Yeah.
It's more
Yeah.
of like I defined all summer. Why wouldn't I headline? Like,
Also-
that kind of does make sense on paper. I get it.
If I could be wrong about this too, someone can correct me, but I believe I read that Travis Scott was the actual headliner for that night. So Green Day was the headliner, but Travis Scott didn't play till midnight.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
which is
they're both listed as headliners, but
Yeah.
that's weird.
Yeah, yet another gig where the headliner is not a good thing.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I
Char-
headline
Charlie X-
Coachella. It's like, after Green Day and after everyone left?
Yeah,
Wow.
Charlie XX was already at this after party. Like it's like yeah.
Charlie X, she had the best spot.
Yeah. So I'm gonna read a couple tweets that I saw about this from Green Day fans because I find it to be some of the most unhinged behavior. Full shade. She has exactly one successful album. Meanwhile, Green Day, 38 years into their career, still has more monthly listeners than Charlie at her peak. Y'all kids need to sit down and learn about how the world outside your echo chambers. Can we check?
Is that
Can we
true?
fact
That
check
sounds not true.
So I'm fairly certain it is true, but the numbers are very like they're like
Close.
They're
Well,
very
and-
close.
And we're saying this with Spotify,
This
yeah,
is Spotify,
which is not everything. to be
31.1 monthly listeners for Charlie XCX, and Green Day has, let's see, 32.6. So they have more, but it's such a like, what are we talking about here?
Green Day would have even more if all of their fans knew how to work Spotify or a computer.
Also, like I would wager that like majority of this is people just going, I want to listen to American Idiot again.
Yeah,
It's those, it's
exactly.
like a lot of the same
30
material.
million streams.
And also, like, wouldn't you wager that a band that's been around for longer and has the success that Green Day has would have more monthly listeners
Yeah.
than like an artist that you're claiming is like some new artist, which she's not, by the way. You just now heard of her. Okay, another one. Green Day making a political statement about shit that actually matters over pop girlies singing about coke. I don't know. I'd rather have the most successful political band headline than a spineless coke addict.
Jeez.
Which
They really hung up on the coke thing. Like Green Day's never done drugs.
They're also
Yeah.
referring to the fact that like Green Day is making, like, they've always been very political, but they're making political statements. They're referencing the fact that Charlie XCX did not go hard enough in her political beliefs for, especially during the election, did not like make enough of a statement.
She's British.
Yeah. Also, not not every artist wants to do
She's
that.
not an American like citizen, right?
I don't know.
Why would she give a shit?
That's why
about
that's
happens
why they say
here?
spineless, because yes, I agree.
That she hasn't written an album called American Idiot. She probably doesn't care that much about what we're doing.
So, so there's a great article that was on Vulture. That's the sash is funny. That's just the article name. Just the sash is funny because it is.
Yeah.
It's a fucking joke. Like it's such a wild it's such a crazy thing to even have to like fight over that they're so upset about this.
So Green Day is playing again this weekend, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
assume.
Yeah.
They need to have sashes that say "We are the headliners."
I
just
hope
for fun.
God, I
or
hope
they
so.
need, or it's still Brat Summer, or something like that.
Bring her on stage.
Bring her on stage. I can almost guarantee you
That would be so good.
because Billie Eilish and Billy Joel from I can't remember his last name. I forget it. For the lead singer of Green Day, they're friends.
Armstrong?
Yeah, Armstrong. They're friends. They've collaborated together. They've done things together. And Billy was on stage with Charlie XCX.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they all hung out.
Oh, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. Garrett, yeah,
And are cool with each other.
100%. Yeah, I hope that is something. I hope that some, like, you know, they call it out. Regardless, it's really fucking stupid. And I don't understand the Green Day fans that are like, I have to come to protect my old white boys. That like it's just like they're fine. They're totally fine. It's a sash.
Exactly. It's not a big fucking deal.
But it, man, did it become one, and that makes me angry. But that's those are my highlights for Coachella weekend one. There were other great ones, like Lady Gaga's performance was awesome.
I've heard it was nothing short of just incredible.
It was it was great. There's so the cool thing about Travis Scott's performance is he did have like a horn section that sounded awesome. There was the LA Philharmonic performed, and Lao Fei came up and did stuff with them. Like there was cool shit
cool, yeah.
abound.
Post Malone's, I've seen a lot of clips from his performance, and I
Yep.
thought it was really good. I also saw a clip of him apologizing for using autotune
Oh,
for as long as he has.
weird. I didn't think that would be something that we cared about.
Yeah, I find it weird that he would even say that because we can tell that he can sing.
Yeah,
but he
exactly.
said like he's still working on it, and I'm
Okay.
like that's a weird thing to do when you're
Yeah.
headlining Coachella, is to say still working on
Just
it.
interrupt the show.
Yeah, Ian, I saw clips from the Misfits. Jerry Only, the guitar player, I don't know how old he is, but he is still jacked.
Oh,
and
really?
still only does downstrums.
That's
And
why
it's
he's jacked, bro.
Insane. It's insane. They're playing like fast tempos, and he is just ripped and just like beating the crap out of the guitar. And every time he has just a solid quarter note where he's not playing like blazing eighth notes, he punches the guitar for the quarter note.
Love it. That's great.
And he's been doing that for a long time.
That's that's the dream.
Yeah.
That's the dream right there. But that's all I've got for Coachella. That's all I've got for today. What are we listening to, boys? Hit us with
The
it.
new Bon Iver record,
Nice.
Sable Fable. It's so good. A lot of it came out, I guess, last year.
Yeah, it
It's
was
kind
like
of a two-part record.
Sable came out.
Yeah,
last
Sable
year.
came out last year.
Yeah.
They're like he's got them as disc 1 and disc 2. There's
Yeah.
4 songs on disc 1, and disc 2 is 9 songs, and it's really, really well done.
Yeah, it seems like it would be a journey of a listen.
Yes.
Yeah.
The whole thing is that the first 4 songs, or disc 1 is like depression, calling him further into like, this made you famous, kid. Don't get happy. Stay depressed.
yeah, okay, gotcha.
And then the second half, which is much longer, is him going like, no, I'm going to fight that, and I don't have to be sad boy for all my entire career.
Gotcha. Okay.
I was thinking we listened to that on Fun Fridays, and I don't get it, but maybe I should give it a
Listen
shot.
again.
No, I mean I didn't listen to the album. We just listened to one song.
Oh.
Yeah.
It might have been one of the sad songs. Even I don't remember.
Well, a happy Bon Iver song can still sound sad.
Still sound.
Well,
yeah,
that's
I would
fair.
say it would still sound sad. Okay, I've been listening to the new Briston singles because they're great. Don't like that other one still. It's fine, but the other two are really good. Can't wait for this new album that he surprised us all with. It's out in like 2 weeks.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I hope he keeps that up because the time between his last 2 records was much longer.
Comes out May 2nd.
That's crazy.
Comes out May. I was like, I guess I'm gonna go see him because I was gonna miss this one, but I
Damn.
guess I'm gonna go.
I guess you can't.
Yeah, and then I've been really into this band called Snooze. They are Chicago quote unquote math rock. They have a lot of heavy shit. It's definitely mathy, but it's in your fucking face. It's awesome. The album is I Know How You Will Die, and it is a concept. So all the way straight through, never stops. And apparently that's just how they write. That everything they write is like through composed and concept. So I could not suggest this album enough. If you start it and you're like it's kind of slow, just let it breathe. Let it do its thing, and then you're gonna go, holy fuck, that's heavy. And it's gonna be, you're gonna have to count, or you don't have to, you just enjoy it. But I Know How You Will Die by Snooze. Check it out.
I'm behind on listening to a lot of albums, as we talked about.
what we did on
Friday.
yeah, that's what we did on
last
Friday.
week. But I did listen to Sleigh Bells' full album, Bunky Becky Birthday Boy,
Good job.
which Hagen did not really care for that song we listened
Was
to.
not
'cause
my
it's
thing.
a little,
It was okay.
It's a little off-putting.
Yeah.
It's.
I mean, the album is Bunky Becky Birthday Boy.
I'm
into that.
Yeah, if I'd shown you that, you'd know
Yeah.
it. But it is very much. I mentioned on Friday when we did that show that I was hoping they would go back to kind of their older
Do
like,
their-
kind of
yeah.
stuff. They're doing that. It's good. I enjoyed it.
Cool. Awesome. Anybody got anything else?
Nope.
Well, great. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it so much. If you haven't already, please follow, subscribe, whatever podcast app you're using to listen to this. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, please hit that follow, subscribe button. Those things are free. All of it. It's all free. Click it. It's helpful. It's great. If you're on social media, DFTA Podcast on Instagram, Don't Feed the Artists on TikTok. If you want to say hi to us, if you have any topic suggestions, if you want to argue with us, correct us, anything, you can DM us on those social media platforms, or you can email us at feedback@don'tfeedtheartist.com. We should be Friday. Fun Friday. We're good to go, baby. Come listen to some new music with us on a Friday. Every Friday, pretty much every Friday. Come listen to new music with us. It's a great time. You can always drop suggestions. We'll be live on YouTube, on Twitch, and sometimes on TikTok. Come hang out with us. It's a blast. I think that's pretty much everything. Woo!